And let's begin this morning on First Up here on India Today with all the updates on the Gyanvapi case. The Varanasi Civil Court will hear two fresh pleas on the Gyanvapi Mosque row. The 5 women petitioners in the Gyanvapi Masjid case have approached the Varanasi Civil Court seeking a directive for a fresh survey of the area. The court will be hearing 2 pleas. Petition 1 is demanding to shift the place of namaz in the mosque. Petition 2 demands to remove a temporary wall facing the Nandi idol to create a path to the Shivling that the Hindu side claimed was found during the survey of the mosque complex. AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi meanwhile called the order to seal the alleged Shivling spot in the Gyanvapi Masjid as illegal. Owaisi said that he is hopeful that the Supreme Court will do complete justice as grave procedural unfairness has been reported. The legal battle on Gyanvapi will resume on Thursday in the topmost court of India. Meanwhile, there's also a blame game that's playing out within the survey team. The Varanasi court had sacked commissioner, one of the court commissioners, Ajay Mishra, who's been accused of bias. The survey commissioner has also been accused of leaking inside details to the media. The sacked official has now made a massive claim. Mishra has pinned the blame on his colleague and fellow survey commissioner Vishal Singh for his removal. Vishal Singh has hit back, saying there is no truth to any of these claims. 2 remaining commissioners, that's Vishal Singh and Ajay Pratap, will continue their work of the survey. As the Gyanvapi Mosque is embroiled in a long-drawn legal battle, the court has also directed the Archaeological Survey of India to probe the structure of the mosque. The Varanasi court has given 2 days' time to submit the Gyanvapi survey findings report.
अजय कुमार मिश्रा हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं। अजय जी, आपको क्या लगता है कि सबसे बड़ा रीज़न आपके रिमूवल का क्या होगा? आपको क्यों हटाया गया?
यही तो बात है कि रीजन पता नहीं है। रीजन में केवल विशाल जी की आपत्ति है।
नहीं, उन्होंने तो काफ़ी कुछ उसमें हम लोग जो पढ़ रहे हैं उसमें लिखा हुआ है कि आप सहयोग नहीं कर रहे हैं, ईमानदारी को लेकर आपकी बातचीत हुई है।
सर आजा सामने बैठ जाएं, बता दें कि मैंने क्या सहयोग किया है।
तो क्या आप इसको राजनीति मानते हैं?
बिल्कुल।
उन्होंने कहा है कि मीडिया में आपने कुछ चीज़ें लीक करी हैं। कोई आरपी सिंह हैं आपके सहयोगी, आपके कैमरामैन हैं, उन्होंने कई चीज़ें बताई।
देखिए हमारी गलती क्या है ये तो मैं शायद राजनीति से समझ गया हूँ। मेरा सीधापन ही मेरी जो है गलती है।
आपके चेहरे पर एक मुस्कान है।
ये संतोष है कि मैंने कुछ गलत नहीं किया है।
ये मुस्कान डे 1 पर भी थी और आज भी है।
वो हमेशा रहेगी सर, स्वाभाविक है।
आप खुद को निष्पक्ष मानते हैं आज भी?
एकदम सर, मैंने कोई भी गलती नहीं किया हुआ है
जी, और
न्यायालय का भी सम्मान है, लेकिन विशाल जी ने जो किया वो गलत किया है।
क्या किया उन्होंने?
यही जो हमारे ऊपर आरोप लगाया, मुझे नहीं था, उनको अगर बताना चाहिए था, मुझे कोई आपत्ति उनको थी मुझसे जो है, तो कम से कम बात तो किए होते बैठ के। सारी कार्रवाई होने के बाद ऐसी कौन सी गलती निकल आएगी जो उन्होंने एप्लीकेशन दे दिया।
मौखिक तौर पर आपसे कोई डिस्कशन उनका नहीं हुआ?
नहीं, हमारा उनका कोई मौखिक डिस्कशन नहीं हुआ।
सर्वे पर जाते थे तो बातचीत आम होती थी?
हाँ, जो उन्होंने कहा, मतलब वो अपने रास्ते जाते तो मैं अलग जाता था जो है, लेकिन वहाँ जाने के बाद उनका हमारा कोई विरोध नहीं हुआ है।
नहीं हुआ। तो बताया गया कि शिवलिंग पर पानी भी उनके द्वारा हटवाया गया वहाँ पर।
बिल्कुल, सारा कार्रवाई उनके निर्देशन में हुई है।
तो ऐसा क्या खटास आ गई कि जो है उन्होंने इतना कुछ आपके बारे में लिख दिया?
अब तो सर यही वही बता सकते हैं ना।
आपको ऐसा एक्सपेक्टेशन थी ऐसा होगा?
मुझे उम्मीद नहीं थी, इसीलिए तो दुख है इस बात पर।
ये मैंने कोर्ट में स्थिति स्पष्ट करने के लिए एप्लीकेशन दी थी। मैंने किसी के रिमूवल या इसके लिए नहीं दी थी और मेरा कभी कोई गलत भावना नहीं थी। हमारे भाई की तरह आज भी हैं, हमेशा रहेंगे और हम लोगों ने साथ काम किया है। भले ही 2-3 दिन काम किया है, उन्होंने सहयोग भी किया है, ऐसा नहीं है, लेकिन कुछ चीज़ें ऐसी हो गई, माननीय न्यायालय के आदेश में स्पष्ट रूप से है। और कुछ प्रतिवादी संख्या 4 जो है कुछ परेशान कर रहे थे, कुछ रुष्ट थे। तो निष्पक्ष और बिना भेदभाव की जो प्रक्रिया होनी चाहिए, कमीशन कार्रवाई की जो रिपोर्ट प्रेषित होनी चाहिए, वो उसके लिए मैंने एक एप्लीकेशन दिया था। माननीय न्यायालय ने उस पर संज्ञान लेते हुए आदेश पारित किया है।
From Kashi to Karnataka, there's a war raging over worship. The Gyanvapi Mosque issue is now the Supreme Court. The apex court has also stuck to what the earlier court order said, protection of the claimed shivling. But it's also said that the right to namaz must not be hindered. And across India now, from Ujjain to Neemuch, from Mathura to Mandya, dormant religious disputes have again resurfaced.
A nation locked in a spurt of religious disputes. Some even violent, as happened in Madhya Pradesh's Neemuch, where two groups clashed, pelted each other with stones over the alleged installation of a Hanuman idol at a dargah.
In Madhya Pradesh alone, 3 temple mosque disputes have resurfaced in the wake of the Gyanvapi issue in Varanasi. While in Ujjain, a religious leader has challenged a local mosque on similar grounds. In Dhar, a petition has been filed for the control of the Bhotshala, and in Neemuch, a dispute led to a riot-like situation and prohibitory orders.
Police deployed outside an old mosque in Ujjain after claims that it was built by Mughal rulers on what was once an iconic Shiv temple.
एक दुर्लभ स्थान उज्जैन में है जिस पर सन 1600 में मुस्लिम मुगल शासकों ने तोड़कर उस पर कब्जा कर लिया था और उसे आज बिना नींव की मस्जिद के नाम से जाना जाता है। 2007 में जब हम अंदर प्रवेश किया तब उसमें गणेश जी की मूर्तियां थी, हाथी बने हुए थे, घोड़े बने हुए थे और पत्थरों पर विशाल पहरेदार सैनिकों की मूर्तियां बनी हुई थी। इस मामले को लेकर मैं कोर्ट में जाना चाहूँगा और इसकी एफआईआर भी दर्ज कराऊंगा ताकि ये पूरा में ग्वालियर से इसके पूरे कागज निकाले जा सके और हिंदुओं की संपत्ति हिंदुओं को मिले।
Barely 120 kilometers from Ujjain, this protected 11th century monument has become a subject of litigation. Bhotshala, a Saraswati temple for the Hindus, and a Kamal Maula mosque for the Muslims. An organization called the Hindu Front for Justice has opposed a 20-year-old arrangement made by the Archaeological Survey of India that reserved Bhotshala for puja on Tuesdays and namaz on Fridays. The petitioners have moved the State High Court, seeking complete exclusion of Muslim prayers from the monument. The PIL has been admitted and notices sent to the ASI, the centre and the state governments. A massive 17th century structure in Varanasi. Its existence as a mosque challenged and a survey carried out on court orders. The Hindu side claims to have found a shivling in Gyanvapi's reservoir. The mosque committee calls it a fountain.
अभी भी आप जाइए वहां पर तो देखेंगे जो मस्जिद का पृष्ठभाग है, पिछला हिस्सा है, वहां वह सारे चिन्ह, वह सारे प्रतीक, वह सारे स्वरूप दिखाई देते हैं जो एक मंदिर होने का प्रमाण बताते हैं.
The commissioner had not given a report to the district, to the lower court judge. A petitioner moves an application, and before even the notice is given to the Muslim side, the honorable judge passes an order to protect that area, that so-called thing called shivling, which is not there. It is a fountain.
Separately, an appeal against the Gyanvapi survey reached the Supreme Court.
After the Gyanvapi survey, now the demands have increased of similar inspection in Mathura, where a civil suit seeking removal of Shahi Eidgah has already been filed.
Following the Allahabad High Court's directions to dispose of all cases related to the Sri Krishna Janmabhoomi Shahi Eidgah dispute within 4 months, a petitioner has filed an application in a local court in Mathura, seeking videography of the Shahi Eidgah Masjid adjacent to Krishna Janmabhoomi. The petitioner wants an official assessment to determine that the mosque housed Hindu artifacts and ancient religious inscriptions on its premises. A series of dormant disputes unfold dramatically in a polarized political climate. The list gets longer by the day. With Hemendra Sharma and Kumar Abhishek, Bureau Report, India Today.
The face-off over Hanuman Chalisa in Maharashtra is far from over. The Mumbai Sessions Court is all set to hear the Mumbai police's plea seeking the cancellation of the bail for Ranas for flouting bail conditions. Although the court had asked the couple to appear, they're unlikely to actually turn up for the proceedings. The Mumbai police has argued that the bail for the Ranas should be cancelled for addressing media after being granted the same. The court had asked both the accused not to interact with the press, with the media regarding the case. The Ranas were arrested on charges of trying to incite communal violence over their threat to recite Hanuman Chalisa in front of Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray's residence. They were granted bail by a Mumbai court on May 4th. And here's a conversation that India Today had with Amravati MP Navneet Rana over the simmering issue.
What trouble are you in that you wanted to recite the Hanuman Chalisa? Or are you in more trouble after reciting the Hanuman Chalisa?
See, nobody will be in trouble after chanting Hanuman Chalisa. The trouble is there on my Maharashtra in the name of Uddhav Thackeray ji. Because of that, my force was that now my Maharashtra farmers are in trouble. All jobless youngsters are in trouble. The electric department of Maharashtra is in trouble. But the trouble person who's got all the trouble to Maharashtra is not working a single step ahead in progress of my Maharashtra. Because of that, I wanted to chant Hanuman Chalisa in front of Uddhav Thackerayji's house.
But why? How would chanting Hanuman Chalisa outside Matoshri take care of all the problems that you are raising? Why not raise those issues either in Parliament or on any correct platform?
See, that's what I'm saying. The day I became Member of Parliament, I started representing my district, Amravati. The day when I entered to Lok Sabha, I started raising all the problems belongs to my district, Amravati, or from Maharashtra or either from India. If you watch that Lok Sabha speeches of mine, if you see, every single day I am there with some or the other problems facing by my people from Maharashtra and from my Amravati district. Farmers' issues are there. Adivasi tribal areas, people are facing so many problems from Maharashtra. So many youngsters are jobless after 2019. It is 3 times more jobless people are there in Maharashtra totally if you see. The electric department is facing so many problems. I have raised every single question and I'm continue following up all that problems in my center, from my center government. I'm meeting every single minister. I'm meeting PM for the problems what my Maharashtra is facing and particular about my Amravati, what we Amravatikers are in problem and trouble and my farmers are in problems.
And yet you recite the Hanuman Chalisa, you want to recite the Hanuman Chalisa outside Matoshri. How does that solve any of the problems that you are raising?
See, I believe in Hanuman Chalisa chant, ki Sankat Mochan, when Sankat trouble comes to your life or either comes to Maharashtra, we believe that. If you chant Hanuman Chalisa, that trouble goes from your life. And I believe in that. If you chant, if the Mukhyamantri, CM chant Hanuman Chalisa, the trouble might go out and he should step out from Matoshri. That was my biggest question to Uddhav Thackeray and because of only that reason, I was supposed to chant Hanuman Chalisa outside his residence.
When politics has taken center stage in Karnataka, Congress is alleging that the BJP is replacing Bhagat Singh lessons with that of RSS founder KB Hegdewar's writings. Congress leader DK Shivkumar said that this move is an anti-national act. Here's more.
A massive political war has erupted in Karnataka over the alleged exclusion of lessons on Bhagat Singh from the 10th standard book. The opposition is up in arms. The Congress has alleged that Bhagat Singh's lessons were replaced with RSS founder KB Hegdewar's writings. Karnataka Congress Chief DK Shivkumar took to Twitter and condemned the state government's action. Shivkumar said the decision to remove Bhagat Singh's lessons is an act of anti-nationalism. He added that if today Bhagat Singh is removed, tomorrow it can be Mahatma Gandhi.
इस देश को एक रखने की कमेटी होना चाहिए और हर एक के विचार उसमें सम्मिलित होना, लेकिन देश के संविधान के तहत वो बने। लेकिन यहाँ पर चंद लोग अपने ही विचार को जो ला रहे हैं, हेगड़ेवार क्या एक 200 साल पुराने संस्था है क्या उनकी?
Delhi CM Arvind Kejriwal too waded into the controversy. Aam Aadmi Party Supremo took to Twitter to slam the BJP. Kejriwal called the Bombay government's decision to omit Bhagat Singh's lessons an insult. Karnataka Education Minister hit back at the opposition. Karnataka Education Minister B.C. Nagesh's recent reaction to the Hegdewar controversy. Meanwhile, the Karnataka Education Department has issued a clarification saying that it has not dropped Bhagat Singh from 10th standard textbooks. First, furor over the decision to drop Tipu Sultan from textbooks. Then hinting at teaching Bhagavad Gita in schools. Now the face-off over Bhagat Singh lesson has added a new act in polarization Nataka. Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's get you now a ground report on the Maharashtra water emergency. The State Revenue Department has informed the Cabinet that 270 tankers are supplying water in 3 regions of the state. In the coming days, water scarcity is only likely to rise.
Search for water is making people in Maharashtra take risks that they normally wouldn't consider. 5 people drowned while washing their clothes in a quarry in Deslapada village in Dombivali near Thane this month after their wait for tankers proved endless. The first call for help from the quarry to the police station was attended tragically by Officer Suresh Gaikwad, who did not know that the victims were from his own family.
इसी पानी की वजह से आज हमारे गांव में बहुत बड़ी दुर्घटना हुई है, जिसमें 3 बच्चों की जान गई है, 2 लेडीज उनकी जान गई है। हमारे परिवार के लोग हैं, वो सदस्य लोग हैं, हमारे कुटुंब के सदस्य। लोगों को पानी का इतना प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, हर एक दिन टैंकर मंगाना पड़ रहा है। टैंकर का खर्चा, टैंकर का पैसा देना आम लोगों के बस की बात नहीं रही है।
After this incident, what we're getting to see here on the spot, that there are no villagers present, but there are fire marshals who are here to warn people not to come here because there can be serious incidents be repeated. At the same point of time, what we can see here is that what was left of the family of 5 is these sleepers which are present at the spot.
Like Deslapada, Bhavarpada village in Palghar district is also facing acute shortage of water. Around 100 families are dependent on one well.
एक तो केचा त्रास, एक तो पानी त्रास, एक तो ऊन फार, दिशा देता है ऊन फार, तो तसे ते पानी नाही तर हूँ, तो छात 4-5 तास लागे तो एक कुटुंबाले पानी, आखा अंगलाई पानी नहीं, ढोराले पानी नहीं, तो ते आखा भराय लागे ना, नहीं सांबाई तो पानी नहीं.
In Akola's Kavta village, Man River has gone dry. People are digging the riverbed and drawing water. Farmers who work in their farms in the morning stand in queues to fill water in the afternoon.
आमच्याकडे कोणीच लक्ष नाही देत, आमची पिढ्यानपिढी अशीच चालली, झिऱ्याचं पाणी भरपूर.
किती वर्ष झाले?
लय झाले, 40-50 वर्ष.
Even fire trucks are deployed to provide water. This because there is a shortage of tankers. People of Devpur, a village in Dhule district, allege corporators are controlling distribution of water. According to them, one tanker costs around 1,500 to 2,000 rupees. But even if they are prepared to pay, there is no ready supply.
10 दिन के बाद 10 दिन से पानी आया नहीं। वालमैन को बोले, वालमैन बोलता कि बाबले भाड़े को कुछ भी लीकेज का काम चालू है। हर महीने में 2-3 बार नवे टेंडर निकलते लीकेज के। कॉन्ट्रैक्टर क्या कर रहे, नगर सेवक एक भी ध्यान देने तैयार नहीं।
Water tankers are the lifeline during summers for the people of Maharashtra. The state government claims over 270 tankers are supplying water to 281 villages and 738 smaller hamlets. The efforts, however, are not providing good enough on the ground. With Mustafa Sheikh, Bureau Report, India Today.
So on one hand, in parts of Maharashtra and several other parts of the country, you have a water scarcity, and in other, monsoons are wreaking havoc. Let's get you details of what's happening in the northeast, where incessant rains have been reported. In Assam, floods and landslides has resulted in multiple deaths, affecting nearly 2 lakh people across 20 districts. The national and state disaster response forces have been pressed into service to carry out rescue and relief operations in the flood-hit areas. In Nagaon district, residents were forced to leave their homes as River Kopali is flowing over the danger mark. In Arunachal Pradesh, landslides due to heavy rains resulted in at least 5 deaths. Taking stock of the situation arising due to heavy and continuous rains, Chief Minister Pema Khandu appealed to all to take precautionary measures, especially those living along riverbanks, streams and landslide-prone areas. Moving on to other stories, is the world's richest man chickening out of the audacious Twitter deal? Was a surprise announcement to buy and take Twitter private just another one of Elon Musk's sassy social media adventures? Well, that's what the $44 billion Twitter deal is looking like right now.
Investors in Twitter are poorer by 80,000 crore rupees in just 21 days. That is how much the Twitter share has fallen, wiping away all the gains made in the past month. The rise and fall, both thanks to this man, the tech geek turned world's richest man, Elon Musk. On the 11th of April, he announced his hostile takeover bid of Twitter, promising to turn it into a cathedral of free speech without its own censors, subject only to the laws of the land. His Moses Act parted the Twitterati into two, those who loved him and those on the other side of the spectrum. Musk enjoyed the spotlight and the adulation of his fans for a full 1 month before shocking everyone by putting the deal on hold on Friday, the 13th of May. Citing reports that bots, spam and fake accounts compromised more than 5% of Twitter users. Shares slumped more than 10% on fears that Musk could be looking at excuses to pull out of the deal. The beleaguered CEO of Twitter, the Indian origin Parag Agarwal, tried to douse the fire, saying Twitter suspends more than 500,000 accounts every day and locks several millions accounts every week. This was Elon Musk's response to the long series of tweets, followed a few hours later by his definitive tweet. Musk made it clear that the deal will not move ahead without Twitter clarifying that fake accounts did not exceed 5% of its 23 crore users. For many, this is the final nail in Twitter deal. Analysts feel Musk could not have been ignorant of the spam and bots issue when he offered to buy the company. So what is the deal with Musk's oscillation? The world's richest man has lost $75 billion or 5.8 lakh crore in personal wealth in the past month and a half, all because of a slide in Tesla share. While he was able to arrange some funding for his 21 billion personal equity portion of the Twitter deal, he's still a distance from arranging the entire kitty, a task which now looks more and more improbable given his own slide in fortunes. Bureau Report, Business Today Television.
And that's all we have time for in this edition of First Up. Thank you for watching. Have a great day ahead. News and updates continue on the other side of a very short break.